I'm rather fond of a good car, a well-engineered machine with history. Ever considered, while in a traffic jam, how we got here? Not the jam itself, that's another story. But the car, this metal box, as ubiquitous as a traffic jam. Join me on a fascinating journey through automotive history. We'll uncover surprising facts and forgotten corners. Buckle up.
Our story begins with a German fellow named Carl Benz. Mr. Benz was a bona fide engineer with a vision. In 1885, he unveiled the Benz patent motorwagen. With 3 wheels and a top speed of 10 miles per hour, it was the world's first practical gasoline-powered automobile. This marked a pivotal moment, the dawn of personal motorized transport. Picture yourself cruising in Mr. Benz's creation, cap askew, feeling dashing. But hold on, you wouldn't be gripping a steering wheel, you'd be wrestling with a lever. Early cars were steered with levers, a nautical approach, wouldn't you say? Alfred Wain's 1894 invention of the steering wheel changed everything. Progress, as they say, is rarely without its hiccups. In 1891, on the mean streets of Ohio, the very first automobile accident occurred. A gentleman named James William Lambert was at the helm, or rather the lever, of his horseless carriage. Now, the details are a bit hazy, but it seems Mr. Lambert's vehicle collided with a tree root, causing it to careen out of control. Thankfully, no one was seriously injured. However, this incident served as a stark reminder that these newfangled automobiles, while marvelous, required a certain degree of caution. Automobiles were exclusive, the playthings of the wealthy. But Henry Ford, with a vision as expansive as the American plains, had other ideas. In 1913, Ford introduced the assembly line in Highland Park, Michigan. Inspired by the Chicago meatpacking industry, it transformed car manufacturing. Instead of skilled craftsmen, workers performed a single task, adding components as cars moved along the line. Starting a car in the early days was no mean feat. One had to crank the engine by hand, a laborious and potentially hazardous task. But in 1912, a brilliant engineer by the name of Charles Kettering, working for Cadillac, developed the electric starter. This innovation, which used a small electric motor to turn the engine over, eliminated the need for hand cranking, making driving safer and more accessible, particularly for women who found the hand crank quite challenging. Safety, as you might imagine, was not a primary concern in the early days of motoring, but as cars became faster and more prevalent, the need for better safety features became increasingly apparent. Enter Niels Bolin, a Swedish engineer working for Volvo, who in 1959 patented the 3-point seatbelt, the very same design we still use today. This simple yet ingenious invention has saved countless lives, becoming a standard safety feature in cars worldwide. Now let's rewind a bit and take a closer look at Carl Benz's groundbreaking creation, the 1886 Benz patent motorwagon. This wasn't just a horseless carriage, it was a marvel of engineering for its time. It featured a single-cylinder, 4-stroke engine that produced a whopping 0.9 horsepower. The car's tubular steel frame and wooden bodywork were cutting edge for the era. And those 3 bicycle-like wheels, well, they were a testament to Benz's ingenuity, providing a lightweight and surprisingly effective means of propulsion. Here's a curious fact. Electric cars were actually quite popular in the early 1900s. In fact, in 1900, a third of all cars on the road in the United States were electric. They were quiet, clean, and easy to operate, making them particularly popular with urban dwellers. However, the advent of mass-produced gasoline-powered cars, coupled with the limitations of early battery technology, led to the decline of electric vehicles by the 1920s. As more and more cars took to the roads, a new problem arose: traffic. The first traffic signal, designed to bring some semblance of order to the burgeoning automotive chaos, was installed in Cleveland, Ohio in 1914. This simple device with its red and green lights marked the beginning of our modern traffic control systems, a testament to the ever-growing impact of the automobile on our lives. No history of the automobile would be complete without mentioning the Ford Model T. Introduced in 1908, the Model T was the first car to be mass-produced on an assembly line, making it affordable for the average American. With its simple design, durable construction and relatively low price, the Model T put America on wheels, transforming the country's social and economic landscape. By 1927, over 15 million Model Ts had been produced, cementing its place as one of the most influential cars of all time. So there you have it, a glimpse into the fascinating history of the automobile. From Carl Benz and Henry Ford to safety pioneers like Niels Bohlin, the car is a testament to human ingenuity. As we move towards the future, the automobile will continue to shape our world. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a charming 1930s roadster calling my name.